Hi everyone, it's Katie. I am so happy to speak with you. Hey, you know what? We are in kind of the latter half of October. This is Halloween season, also known as Samhain, which is the Celtic name for the older holiday that precedes Halloween, and energy is high. If you have been experiencing dreams, intense feelings, kind of feeling like there are spirits around or ancestors who are wanting to communicate with you, you are in good company. While we often talk about Halloween as kind of this holiday with, candy and costumes, and nothing wrong with that. I love all of that. I think I was a witch every year for about 10 years when I was little. The actual meaning of Halloween and of Samhain is much, much deeper, because this is the time of year where we do recognize that the veil is thin, and that's the veil between us and the other world. And in the other world are all sorts of spirits who are very active, and they're active all the time. It's just that at this time of year, humans tend to sense that energy a little bit more. If you're in this group, if you are attached to me in any way, shape, or form, to any of the stuff that I put out there, it's 99% sure that you are really, really sensitive, and that you are probably more sensitive than the average bear. And so you probably are experiencing this energy at a really high level. The knee-jerk Christian reaction is to say, it's all demons, it's all demonic. Nothing could be further from the truth. This is simply a time of year when spirits, including the ones who are a little mischievous, a little trickstery, are playing. They are active. And sometimes when we encounter that mischievous trickster energy, if we've been so conditioned, we might interpret that as demonic. But instead, I want to invite us into deepening our experience of the energy of the season. You're all in the metaphysical Christian for a reason, because you're interested in metaphysics and in the unseen and in all of this wonderful, beautiful, juicy energy that doesn't quite fit into some of the boxes that we've been raised to believe exist. And so during this time, you might experience intense or more intense emotions. You might experience some kind of like up and down energy. You might experience being even like really hard on yourself because the veil is so thin, and that you're experiencing more emotional onloading than you're used to, because you are navigating a lot of this energy. If you are someone who has been raised to be like a little fearful of Halloween, or maybe you've been raised to think that Halloween is just all cute and it's for kids, then it's time to maybe invite yourself into another experience of the season, another experience of this holiday, which is one where you can sink deep into the roots, deep, deep, deep into the energy of Mother Earth, of God's very creation. Allow Christ to come to you and help guide you towards facilitating and navigating the energies of the other world. In the Mexican tradition, and maybe in other traditions too, we have the Day of the Dead. This is not my particular culture, so I'm kind of going off what I know here. But this is a time when Mexican culture recognizes the thin veil that really does separate us from our ancestors. And this is the time of year where we have the opportunity to connect really, really deeply to that energy, and to offer healing and to receive healing and wisdom too. So if you are someone who is ready to receive that deep wisdom, the deep healing, this is the perfect time of year to do it. In the Celtic tradition, which is where I'm drawing a lot of my knowledge, this is also the new year. It's the beginning of winter that is the beginning of the new year. So it's like we experience this heightened energy of the spiritual activity, and then we can take it into these cold winter months and really reflect, learn, grow, begin to experience our new selves in this new year of this winter season. So there's a lot of beauty, a lot of richness here. There's also ways to navigate this that are not going to be all that supportive or all that safe. And so I do see this all the time. Sometimes people jump in full feet and they want to experience everything that the spiritual dimension has to offer, but they're not doing it with wisdom, they're not doing it with discernment, and they're not doing it by asking good questions or the right questions. And then they get really overloaded. It's like they get the sugar rush from all the Halloween candy, but in a spiritual sense, they get really overloaded and don't actually do anything with the with the messages that they're receiving. So my wisdom, my advice in the season is to go deep and be very discerning in your depth. This is not a free-for-all. This is not a free-for-all. This is connecting to the spiritual energies that are meant for you at this time of year, and doing that in a way that provides a lot of sustaining for you and a lot of grounding for you. Because we could get so caught up in that energy that we're really floaty and we're not actually grounding, and then we're not receiving the depth that we are supposed to receive. The Christian holiday this time of year, the really explicit Christian holiday, is All Saints' Day, which is November 1st, which is the day after Halloween. And this is a fixed day on the Christian calendar. It never changes. And it's where we, as Jesus followers, historically have honored the dead. We have honored our spiritual ancestors and our biological ancestors. So I hope you're really getting the sense that there's a lot of richness here. There's a lot of overlap where the veil is thin, there is spiritual energy all around. There are ancestors who are wanting to connect to us, your biological ancestors, your family ancestors, whether they're biological or not, kind of depending on your family line, but also your spiritual ancestors. And one way we honor our spiritual ancestors is in the form of saints, whether they are known or whether they are unknown. And so that's also a really beautiful option for you this time of year. You should also know that Samhain, Halloween, is the midpoint between the fall equinox, which is in late September, and the winter solstice, which is at the end of December. We have a fixed date for Halloween, which is October 31st, kind of universally recognized for costumes and candy, which I really like. But astronomical Samhain, the day that falls midpoint between the equinox, where the days are equal in length, and the winter solstice, which is the longest night of the year, does vary a little bit from year to year. This year, it's around November 5th. I'm almost sure. It's around November 5th. So you're actually extending the energy of the Halloween season from like now, we're kind of getting into the richness of the season now, all the way through its high point, which will actually be November 5th. So you get a really nice, almost a week between Halloween, the kind of celebratory, and the full height of that connection, which is November 5th. Right? So one of the ways that I am assisting everyone this year in navigating this energy, and this is the first for me, I'm really excited to offer this, is in a workshop. So I'm hosting a workshop on Sunday, October 22nd. It will happen at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. It will be live on Zoom, but there will also be replays because we have a few weeks to really enjoy and experience this energy all the way from now through, November 5th, and actually a few days after November 5th. This is a season, not just a day. And that's really, really important. This is a whole season. So we get a whole season to experience this richness. In the workshop, I'm going to show you how to navigate these energies, some really, really basic tools for protection and setting your own intention, setting your own guidance. While there is mischievous energy out there, we can recognize that. Don't want you to get caught up in that either. We are going to connect to ancestors. I'm going to take you on a really gentle shamanic journey to connect with loved ancestors and those who are willing to offer guidance to you. If you have ancestors who were jerks, don't worry. It's not like we're not going to connect particularly with the jerks in your family ancestry for this time. That's for another time. They can experience healing another time. And we're also going to connect with a really, really special energy, a divine feminine energy called the Kalyak. And this is the old woman who embodies the season of winter. And I did some journey with her earlier today, so she's got a lot of wisdom to offer everyone. So really, really bringing in that beautiful divine feminine wisdom into this journey as well. We're also going to connect very intentionally to our Christian heritage in the form of All Saints. I'm going to give you some tools and some kind of high vibration for connecting to All Saints Day if you've never done that before, and for extending this journey. So we're going to kick off the season with this workshop. That's why I'm holding it so far before Halloween, before Samhain, so that you have the tools you need for the next 2 to 3 weeks to really, really get as much as you can from this season. The workshop is just $25 through Friday. That's through tomorrow, October 20th, depending on when you're watching this. And on Saturday and last minute tickets on Sunday will be $40. So if you are thinking about attending, go ahead and grab it now. Grab those tickets now. I'm going to put the tickets in the chat box Let's see. We had let's see, I'd set the tickets for 25. I have 20 registered right now. So if I get 2 or 3 more, I'll go ahead and bump up the number of people who can attend, and we'll kind of go from there. I can't wait to meet with all of you. It's going to be a really, really fun workshop. So if you're wanting to get into this more in depth, have some personal guidance, some personal Q&A, definitely plan to attend the workshop. Like I said, if you can't attend live but still want access to it, it will be available on replay. Everyone who registers will get a copy of the workshop that you can watch as many times as you would like, for the rest of your life. You can have it for every single Samhain. So I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this Facebook Live up. Again, if you are experiencing the energy of this season, make sure that you're intentional, make sure you're grounded, make sure you're really getting rid of those old fears, those old beliefs that Halloween must be demonic. If that's part of your worldview at all, it's definitely time to come to a new understanding so that you can get as much as you can from this season. All right, everyone, lovely to see you all, and I will talk to you soon.